So yeah, okay, we
Crazy,
go kill that.
crazy, 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 crazy. Yeah, I'm ready to go. All right.
Yes, sir.
Game within the game. You see the background. Yeah. You slumming it right now.
Yeah, we live a regular people life today.
Yeah. I'm not in the matrix. I'm fucking in the program. I'm in the fucking program. I'm not in the matrix. You don't see this shit. I'm amongst the regulars or the normals. Uh, but
Amongst
don't
the
get it fucked
commoners.
up. Yeah, don't get it fucked up. I can still jump off a building and do all types of crazy shit. Don't get it fucked up. I still got my
Mm.
superpower. Jason is not in his realm. his fucking his
Nah, see,
realm.
this how we do it. Wherever we're at is the realm. The
Mm,
background don't make us, we make the background.
damn. Excuse me, man. I've been.
This
There's
is how
no
we
other.
rolling today.
That's how we roll it. There's no other person that I would rather correct me than fucking Yoda, man. I'm actually happy to see Yoda. I haven't seen him in a little bit. We've been
Yeah,
running around.
we a little bit behind our usual schedule, but still getting things done.
We make shit happen, man.
Always.
We make shit happen, man. And, this is a fucking lesson. You know, the show don't
I was
stop,
just
man.
about to say, yep.
I know you were. Yeah, it's a lesson, man. You got to make do with what you got at all times, man.
See,
It's no excuses. No excuses.
ever. See, here's the thing. We were just talking about 2 episodes ago, episode 11, how most people don't make it past episode 10, right? Because they would let stuff like this stop them. Oh, I don't got my thing. I'm not in the studio. I'm not wherever it is I need to be. I don't got the fancy microphone. I don't got the light. I don't got the camera. Who cares? You can get it done regardless, because at the end of the day, if your production value is the only reason that people are drawn to you, then you have no value to begin with. So you need to be your own production value. If the message resonates, then the message will resonate regardless of where it is that you deliver from.
Absolutely, man. That's a bar. Jason, he doesn't have his
We don't got the
gunshot,
gunshots right now, but gunshot noise.
the applause and shit like that, which it's I'm kind of hurt over that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, because
We'll get it back. We'll get it back though. We'll get those particular powers back.
yeah. But don't worry about it, people. Don't worry about it. We good. So of course, like every week. Oh, and hold on. Last week I didn't get to fucking name the episode while we was doing our thing, and that kind of pissed me off. That kind of pissed me off. But afterwards, we did come up with a fire episode, fire name, gods
Nah,
amongst
that was
gods.
so you came up with that. Gods amongst gods. That was a amazing title right there. That's my favorite title of any of these episodes so far.
Yeah, me me also, man, because that's just the way we feeling right now, man. And well, I believe I don't like to speak for Jason because no one can speak for Yoda, but I believe that's how he feels, and I feel likewise. And that goes into my thoughts, man, my crazy ass thoughts that I like to toss up to Yoda, and he's like, "You fucking well, why do you think of these things?" And I said, I don't know, yo, I don't fucking know. People, man, I've been traveling.
People crazy.
People are fucking nuts, man, and but the one thing about me is I am ultra observant. I see everything, man. It's a gift and a curse too, Jay. It's a gift and a curse. Because normality or normalcy kind of annoys
Yeah.
me at time when you start to pay attention to the shit. It annoys me at time. I would rather people be uh, extravagantly great and talents amongst the stars and skills and all
Mm.
this other shit and thoughts and intelligence to the gods and all this stuff. But everyone doesn't think like that or live their life like that. And I'm starting to accept it, Jack. Starting to accept the fact that people will be normal, and sometimes there's things you can't do or say to change them, as frustrating as it may be. So yeah, I've been dealing with these thoughts of late.
I understand that, man. You know what? It's a hard realization to come to, right? Because especially once you realize that people could be so much more and there's so much more to life than what you've been shown, the mundane day-to-day stuff, and you just want to get out there and spread that to everybody. And then you see that most people aren't receptive to it. And it's confusing at first, at least to me, because I'm like, well, why would you not want to take on this mindset? Why would you not want to have the belief that you can do and be more? But some people are just comfortable being comfortable, or really comfortable being uncomfortable, but not in the good way. Like they're comfortable with their lack of comfort with the life that they don't really want currently, and they don't want to step outside of that to get uncomfortable in the way that's going to actually benefit them. But I mean, such is life. There's nothing that you could do about it. All you could do is point people down the path, but you can't make them walk it. And I've learned that you will drive yourself crazy trying to inspire somebody who has no interest in changing to change.
Great point, Jay. And that's why I like talking to you, man. Kind of therapeutic. Yeah. So yeah. Thankful for those words, man, because yeah, uh, even taking this flight and traveling and amongst the normals, and that's just like in the airport, and it's just like, and I'm just, I'm just looking at people. I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck? Like, I'm out the matrix, and I'm in the. And I'm just looking and staring at people. My wife's like, "What the fuck are you looking at?" I'm like, "People." I feel like
It's
it's crazy. I feel like Agent Smith when he's like, "People disgust me." Like, and that's how I feel, man. I'm just looking and I'm like, "What the fuck are we at this point?" I
yeah,
mean, the line, the line at Domino's at the airport pissed me off, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, Jay. Pissed me off. Pissed me off. Yeah, man. Like, there's a certain level of a person or a certain level of intelligence you have to have to wait in a line at Domino's, man. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man.
no, 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 no. I'm all the way with you on that there because I was I
At
was
the
in the airport
airport, Jay.
myself. Crazy, right?
At the
But
airport.
that's insanity. But it's not even just that. But like I was at the airport about a week or so ago. 6 a.m. Starbucks line, dozens of people long. I'm like, yo, this is not that good, first of all. And
It's not.
secondly, my time is worth way more than this 40 minutes that I'm going to stand in line to get this latte and this bagel or this weird little sandwich, whatever it is that you were getting. And it's just baffling to me. But all of these little things that people pay no attention to is a good insight into the amount of value that people give to their own lives. Like, even in the regular world day to day, right? You see lunchtime line at Starbucks or Chick-fil-A is 45 minutes, an hour long, and people will go sit there. And that says so much about how it is that you view yourself, that you're willing to wait amongst all of these other people for a chicken sandwich for a whole entire hour. And then these are the people who complain that they're not doing better, but it's because you don't value your time more than that chicken sandwich. Like to you, a whole hour of your time is worth a chicken sandwich or a latte or a double cheeseburger. And that's insanity to me. Like you have to want better for yourself and you have to view yourself as better if you're ever going to be better. Like back to what you were saying at the beginning, the gods amongst gods things. Absolutely, that's the way that I feel. And most people will look at it as gods amongst men. And no, that's small minded stuff right there, right? It's easier to be better than a bunch of normal people. I don't
Right.
want to be better than normal people. I want to be better than the better people. I want to be great amongst greats, not great amongst losers. And you're never going to do that if you believe that 60 whole of your minutes aren't worth more than your Starbucks sandwich. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. Um, Fucking crazy. Uh, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't look too deep into these things, though, Jay. But I can't help it. And brings me to another thought. As crazy as it may seem, but evolution, right?
Mm.
And people's false ideas of their evolution, right? Or perceived evolution. Maybe they got a, maybe they fucking got a raise or promotion or whatever the case may be. I don't find that to be evolution. I find that to be someone else's doing, evolving your
Mm.
life, right? You didn't really. I mean, you played a part in it, but I don't like the idea of someone having control over my evolution or perceived evolution. I'm not into that. Um, but kudos to you if you did get a promotion or raise, whatever. But I'd like to say this when it comes to evolution and a good bookmark for evolution, if you want to see or think about your evolution and how it's come across. Look at an old picture of yourself,
Mm.
right? Maybe high school. Let's say high school. A lot of people peak in high school, and we discussed that before a couple episodes ago. People peak in high school, but it's a good barometer, right? Uh, for those who didn't peak in high schools, some were behind and they had to evolve, right? So a good barometer would be to take a good look at yourself in high school. If you're a man, let's say young man, you weighed 180 pounds, right? If you are sitting there now at 40 years old, about 250 pounds of flab, could you truly say that you evolved or devolved? Um, I don't know. I don't like to just harp on health and body composition and shit like that, but it to me is a great barometer or a great start uh, to evolution. The way your body evolves, so the way you handle your health, the way your health evolves, it's evolution. Your mind comes along with it. It's not like you just improve your health and you leave your mind behind. Your mind comes along with the journey, right? Because when you're in the gym and you're working out, so it's mental, man. A lot of that shit is mental, man. The other stuff that comes with it, that's the icing on the cake. Um, so it'll be hard to evolve without strenuous activities to help your health. So that was a thought, not that, and I thought of that because of the Domino's and the Wendy's line, and I'm just looking at these people. I'm like, these people think they're an evolution of some type of human or something, like, because back yeah, because I don't back in caveman days, if that was even a thing, there was no 300 pound. No, right? So how did you evolve or devolve? Like, um, probably intellectually you did, but we gotta work on evolution, man, and our thoughts on evolution. Or did you really evolve, or did you devolve? I know health is a small part. The crazy part is health is a small part to a lot of people. It's a small part. What is he talking about? It's just fucking burgers. I've evolved. I make a great living. Yeah, I got a fam. I've evolved. I mean, if that's what you call evolution, I'll sit that one out.
So I think, man, you made some great points. So first and foremost, I think that collectively humanity has evolved at the very least intellectually, but on an individual level, people have devolved intellectually. So the collective evolvement of on the intellectual level has caused everyone else to devolve on the intellectual level, because now people can outsource their thinking, they can outsource their thoughts, they can outsource their ideas, they can outsource their perspectives. So back in caveman day, even old times, you had to actually come up with things for yourself. You had to figure things out on your own. Now people don't even need to learn to spell anymore or structure sentences. They just ask Chat GPT. Like, people don't need to know math anymore. You got the little calculator in your hands. I'm not saying that calculating random math problems or whatever is the peak of intellect or anything along those lines, but it bleeds over into all of these different areas. I'm a big believer that, I believe we talked about this before, but the greatest indicator of intelligence is your ability to solve problems and change in real time and take your thoughts and ideas and stuff and produce them into the real world. But now, people have everyone else to do that for them. They have everyone else to come along and solve their problems, except for their biggest ones. And one of those is health. And yeah, it's not the end all be all of anything, but the thing is, people have this thing, what's on the inside that counts, all of that nonsense. But your outside is a reflection of your inside. So if you're fat, if you're out of shape, then that immediately says you're not disciplined, you have no self-control, you have poor priorities, you're a pleasure chaser, you're a comfort seeker, you're selfish, all of these things. So if you have your life in order, if you have who it is that you are in order, if you're truly an intelligent person in general, then you will be in good shape. Now, granted, there is a range of what that might look like. Again, I'm not saying everyone has to be a bodybuilder or anything along
No,
those lines, but
no,
walking around fat and sloppy and unable to walk up the stairs without running out of breath is absolutely unacceptable. And that is a sign of a lack of intelligence and growth, because when you're a kid, when you're 16 and you wanna eat fucking In and Out or whatever they have on different coasts of the world and smoke weed or whatever, okay, cool, that's fine. But you should have learned as you've grown. So when you see 45, 50-year-old grown adults in line waiting for Domino's for an hour, that is a shame, and that is a glaring indicator that they have not grown as people. Because as you grow as a person, you know that you should be eating for your health and for what's good for you, not just for what it is that tastes good or is most pleasurable in the moment. And yeah, again, that's one individual thing, but it's reflective of a lot of other characteristics about yourself, about who it is that you are. So someone who makes poor food choices makes poor choices in other arenas of life. And I'm not saying that you can't be fat and make money, or you can't be fat and have a family or anything along those lines, but at the very least, you're still not living up to your truest possible potential, because you're not operating at your highest self, because you're neglecting your health. And the physical and mental are tied into each other. And the better those are, the better you could operate in all of these other capacities, the better businesses you can run, the better family man that you could be, the better that you could raise your kids, the better that you can give back to your community, whatever else it is that you value. All of these things improve when you improve, and your health is a huge part of that. And usually, if you're someone who takes the time to get your health in order, you prioritize working out, staying in shape, eating properly, and you turn down all of the good tasting foods or the better tasting foods that people love. You turn down the alcohol and the drugs and all of that. You are someone who has the discipline that's necessary to succeed in other areas of life, because you've developed that self-control and you've gotten your priorities in order. You can delay your gratification and all of that. So even if you're not there yet, if you're someone who's healthy, you've cultivated yourself into someone who can get there. And I think that, again, like you said, people massively devolve. And just in relation to the promotion thing, like you were saying, or the raise thing. First and foremost, if you have a job, if you love your job, if it's your career and it's what it is that you want to do, amazing. Shout out to you. We're not talking about you.
yeah,
But there are absolutely people who go to jobs every single day that they hate, that they don't want to do, that they're only at because they don't believe that they have another way that they can pay their bills, and they get a promotion or they get a raise and they are happy about it. And I absolutely agree that that is not a form of evolution. If anything, it's a tool to further trap you in a place that you do not want to be,
yeah,
because now you've gotten a little bit farther along and you're like, okay, I can stay here a little bit longer because I got a couple more dollars per hour. I got a couple grand added on to my yearly salary. I'm in charge of a couple more people now. And to them, that's just enough to keep them from jumping ship and going somewhere else. So they're actually just further enslaved in this spot that they don't want to be in. So again, that's not an evolution. It's a de-evolution of sorts, because you're further from where it is that you want to be now, because now it's harder for you to quit that job, because now you have more money to make up, if that's the mindset that you have. Or I also agree with what you said about the high school thing too. Like, I see old pictures of myself, even from 5, 6 years ago, and I'm like, I look completely different. Not even just in just the aesthetic sense. Like, yeah, my beard's longer than it was
yeah,
back then. But like, I can see, like, you can see in my face that I look different, because I have a different mindset. I'm in a different area of life. I have different energy through the picture, and people have these things. Like, you could go through a high school yearbook. It's all great. You can see everyone's looking all amazing and their best selves and whatnot. And if you were to take the exact same high school yearbook and fill it with those people from when they're 30, that whole
crazy.
book would have a whole entire different energy. It would be depressing. It would be all of that, because people have not grown from there. Because I think, for the most part, once people are taken out of an environment where they're forced to progress, they kind of just stagnate wherever it is that they are. And that's most people's most people's problems, and that's what keeps them stuck where it is that they are currently. Like, they don't have anything pushing them, they don't have anything driving them, and they consider all of these insignificant things to be some sort of evolution and or growth. Yeah, you have a family, okay, but is it the family that you want, and are you able to provide for them? Are you able to take care of them? If so, it's just the thing that you've done for the sake of doing the thing. Yeah, you have a job, okay, cool, maybe it helps you pay your bills, but are you doing anything positive for the world? Are you actually somewhere it is that you want to be? If not, you are not growing, you are not evolving, you are just furthering your own stuck. And they give you all of these little tidbits of things, these little crumbs, trinkets, exactly, like, and that's like you were doing something, and then you're just happy with that because everyone else is happy with that, and that's what you've been conditioned to is, oh, I got 50 cents more an hour, yay, go me. No, is that what you want out of life? Then fuck that. You need to leave it behind, because life is all about growing, life is all about evolving, life is all about becoming the best version of yourself. You're never going to do that somewhere where you're just being.
Yeah, great point. Great point. Makes me think uh, when people get these trinkets, it's like almost like the stick with the carrot and the string
Mm-hmm.
attached to it, or even the box with the stick that's holding it. You go in there and get the
Oh,
food,
the
and
little rabbit thing.
yeah. It's like comfort. I just thought of something like it's like comfort is a tool that the devil uses. And I hate to get all fucking spiritual and shit, or even say devil. You don't have to use devil in your. You can
You
use
call
any.
it whatever it is that you would
You can
like.
call it
Devil,
whatever
the
you want.
enemy, people,
Yeah,
the
whatever.
man, whatever it is you would like to call it. But it's all
No,
the same at the end of the day.
yeah. For me, I
Mhm.
categorize all that shit into one box. Um, and it's a tool. Comfort is a tool that, uh, for lack of better terms, I'll say the devil. Comfort is a tool that the devil uses to keep you exactly where you are, and it's a powerful tool. Also, it's a
Mhm.
power. That brings me to another thought. It's kind of like evolution or de-evolution. We discussed this a little bit off camera. This for my this for my folks. I'm talking to my folks that's lived a tough life, whether in the streets or just a tough life overall. It doesn't have to be in the streets, but uh, for sake of argument, I'll just talk to the street guys, and you just put it all under one umbrella. If you lived a tough life, just put it under that umbrella. Um, why? And I'm asking you, Yoda, why would we survive these chaotic experiences in life, early in life, whether in the streets or trailer park, wherever the hell you come from, uh, group home, foster home, whatever. Survive these chaotic moments and these traumatic, catastrophic experiences when you're younger, only to survive that and be killed by sugar or carbohydrates. Why, why would you survive 30 shootouts and then get diabetes? Like, and then be killed by something so preventable. And I want to say easily prevented.
Very easily
Yeah,
prevented.
I mean, yeah. For me it is, but for most not.
I'm
I mean, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm just for my fats out there. I mean, easy for me and you, but not so easy for others. But it's easy, man. If I could do it, you could do it. So hey, man. So yeah, it's easy. Why survive something, all these traumas and traumatic tribulations, only to get older in life and have something that's in a box with sugar and fructose and all this other shit, processed sugars and flours. Have this stuff destroy you later on when you survive so much. Like, what's the point? What's the point of surviving this shit getting to a certain and fucking learning all these things you learn from traumatic experiences. Why learn all of that shit, or have you learned? But if you have, why learn everything you've gotten to learn from these experiences, and then later in life you get killed by something so simple and so avoidable? What is that? What is that, Jay? Is it a thing? Can you put a name to it? Can you put an idea to it? Is it a? Can it be diagnosed?
I have, I don't know if this is a specific diagnosis, so to speak, but your thing before led me to this thing. This is an idea I'm having currently, and we're going to unpack it here in real time here. So, if comfort is the tool of the devil, adversity is the tool of God, because comfort leads to stagnation and struggling leads to strength. Now, one of
Wait,
them,
wait! I got to write that down, man. Are you fucking crazy? That's
that's how we rolling here,
crazy.
people.
Nah,
Okay.
bro. Start. Look, this like a battle rap. Yo, start the round
So
over. Start.
are we with
Start
the
again. Hold
Don
on.
Juan?
Oh,
Run it
let
back.
me get that up there. Run that back. Run that
All
back,
right,
please.
all right,
My
all right, all
bad.
right.
My bad.
If if comfort is the tool of the devil, then adversity is the tool of God, because comfort leads to
Wait.
stagnation.
Nick, did you just think of that?
Yeah, just as you were talking here,
Run it
just as
back
you
real
was
quick.
going with it, this is what
Run
we
it back
unpack.
one more time. My bad. My
We
bad.
need to get a little air horn so we can battle rap it for real. We're talking like a
Yo,
smack battle.
Craig, that's great. Run that shit back, Jay. My
All
bad.
right. If comfort is the tool of the devil, then adversity is the tool of God. Now, comfort leads to stagnation and struggle leads to strength. So the devil's on the front end has the more appealing offer, but God's has the more appealing payout. But most people are prone to go for the most appealing upfront offer. So they take the comfort, unaware that that's going to keep them trapped, going to keep them stuck, and ultimately is going to be their downfall. And they turn their back on the adversity, on the struggle, because up front it sucks, it's hard, but as a whole that will lead to their salvation. They're too short-term, short-sighted to understand what trade-off it is that they're making. And I think that, so like you said there, people go through the adversity and then they're killed by comfort foods and various comforts and things along these lines, right? So they're given the struggle by God, and then here comes the devil to say, nah, you've had all this struggle. Take this comfort now. So they take the comfort, thinking that it's the way out and it's a relief from what it is that they've been going through. But they were unaware that the path that they were on was eventually leading to the oasis. But they got tempted off of that path by the nice looking, pretty looking one with all of the, the flowers and the bushes and all that shit up front, unaware that at the end was the desert. So they left the desert to go on the nice path to ultimately wind up in the desert, not knowing that if they kept walking through the desert, they would have wound up in that oasis. So it's the give and take, the back and forth, the pull of everything, right? You got the negative for every single positive. So when someone is offered the positive in the form of adversity, they turn their nose up at it to take the negative in the form of comfort, even though ironically that will lead to more adversity, and the adversity up front would have led to the comfort. So I think, and that's how people get tempted to this, because they're not strong minded enough to understand that if they keep pushing through the pain and they keep pushing through the struggle, at the other end is clearness and freedom, right? Like they have the thing where I think it's the buffalo runs towards the storm where everyone runs away from it, because towards the storm, you go into the storm, you go out the other side of the storm, because the storm's coming this way, the buffalo's going this way, you pass it. But when you run from it, you're always sitting there under the storm. The storm's always chasing you. So it's harder to run through the storm than it is to run from the storm. But once you're through that storm, everything's good now. But most people don't want to go through the storm. They want to go that way because the sunshine is that way, and all that they can see that way is clouds, unaware that the clouds are going to where the sun is.
Man, oh
And this
man.
is the trade-off that people make. This is my idea that we have unpacked here.
Yoda, man. Yoda, man. You never cease to amaze me right there. You don't. Um, yeah, the what did I say? The comfort is the devil's tool. I don't even. And then you just put the added. Then adversity is God, people, people. We doing God's work, man. I don't give a fuck what. I don't care what y'all motherfuckers.
Facts.
That's that was beautiful, Jay. That was
Yeah, we definitely need the air horns for this episode.
yeah, man. So that leads me into even naming this, man.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, and I want to I want to take what you said, not the devil's tools being comfort, but the other side of that. Did you say adversity is God's tool? How did you phrase that?
Adversity is the tools of God. Adversity is a tool of God.
That's the title.
Hmm.
What? Oh my God.
That's come on. Okay.
Hey man, listen, man. Look, I ain't tooting on horn, but hey, shit. Hey
Y'all
man,
people need to understand what it is that you're listening to right now.
nah, man. We got a different angle, man. There's a different angle going on here, man. And you gotta love it, man. Here I go. Here I go, Jay. Crazy, crazy thoughts. You got my
See,
mind
but
twisted.
this what we here for.
Yeah, you're right.
These
You're
are the
right. So,
crazy thoughts that's going to change someone else's whole entire perspective, their whole entire life off of that.
right. And I think we're the perfect yin to yang, if there's such a thing. Um, the way you're able to articulate and answer some of my um, kind of jumbled up thoughts, distorted thoughts, and bring them to life is something to be studied later on. Uh, I don't know if people understand what they might be witnessing at the moment, but hey,
Now it's going to wind up being the blueprint to some whole new shit.
yeah. So I digress and move on. Um, I had another thought, Jay, while in the airport, looking at all the normals, and the facts, and the
The
idiots, and the
pores.
jackasses, all of the names I can call them, but I won't. I had another thought. So hear me out, and the people can consider this my monologue or whatever, but it'll be kind of jumbled up. I'll take my time, but, as I usually do. But I started to think about opposition, all right, and the level of opposition and how that can either change your life for the better or the worse. Right? In many cases, you're only as good as your opposition or level of your opposition, right? Example, and I like to use sports because I think sports is a great microcosm of life. Muhammad Ali, right?
Mm.
Muhammad Ali wouldn't be considered the greatest of all time if he fought Jerry Quarry 10 times, right? So, yeah, no, serious. Uh, well, no disrespect to Quarry. Quarry, although a decent to good fighter, he wasn't going to add to Ali's legacy much, right? So I sometimes wonder why people who become successful, either by like monetary gains, self-serving enlightenments, or great achievements that warrant accolades, I wonder why they worry themselves with opposing ideologies that come from beneath their current status.
Mm.
Why? Right? Here's a thought. Here's another thought. And just looking at the landscape of rap and rappers and shit, just came to mind. You see this sometimes, this idea of opposition or op. They call it, the young boys call it op. You all got ops, right? You see this sometimes with rappers nowadays. They make it out of their chaotic environment only to rap about the opposition they just escaped from and left in that environment.
Crazy.
Not only rap about them, but continue to carry on whatever disputes they had when both parties were on equal playing grounds. And it's no surprise when that rapper ends up in a bad situation, right? I'm not surprised. When we level up in life, people, everything in our lives should go along for the journey. Everything, even especially your opposition. Um, I'll bring myself into it, a little personal. On my quest for ultimate rap greatness, I often mention Jay-Z, Biggie, Nas, the highest. That's what I shoot for. Um, that is who I want my opposition to be or become eventually. And I
Mm.
say, yeah, I say eventually because opposition is not opposition unless both sides consider the challenge to be so. Right? It is incorrect. It is let me think. It is incorrect to think you cannot choose your opposition. You can choose your opposition. It is also a mistake to allow low-level opposition to choose you
Mm.
or to stay. It's also a mistake to stay at the same level of opposition for long periods of time. Also, Jay, I know you've heard this phrase, "choose your friends wisely," but you should also choose your opposition wisely. And
I
one
wish I
one
had a
last,
gunshot right now. Some
yeah,
bar.
my bad. We ain't got that. You can go blow or something. That's my sound effect.
Exactly that right there. Battle
Um,
rap sounds.
better rap. There we go.
That's what we on today.
That's what we on. We going like no, Don
Or else.
DeMarco. Yeah. We there. One last point about opposition. Um, to clear it up, it can be metaphorical. Opposition is not exclusive to being right. Right. Opposition is not exclusive to being a man, woman, child, etc. It could be a thing or even an idea.
An idea.
It could be a thing or an idea, right? So I like to give examples, right? So picture a small, indiscreet, rather normal, regular man. Let's call them, the normals. You got this small, indiscreet, normal man, right? He chooses to crusade against $1 billion company in hopes of thwarting their diabolical plans of pushing their harmful products onto people in his town, right? So the opposition in this example is larger than life, right? But even if this man experienced a small level of success, that small level of success can catapult this man's normal life into a meaningful existence,
Mm.
right? Choosing your opposition is important and give you purpose, right? Um, Last point. This is a strategic life hack. Strategic, and it's important. Um, Especially like when I go back to sports. If an all-time great fighter, right? An all-time great fighter, he's let's use names. Let's use Terrence Crawford, right? All-time great fighter. Love Terrence Crawford, one of my favorite fighters. Love combat sports, by the way. And picture Terrence Crawford fighting a guy who has 20 losses. His level of opposition is down there. And I'll ask you, Jay, I know you're not that much into sports, but intellect. Terrence Crawford, undefeated fighter, undisputed champ, all these accolades will go down as one of the greatest. What does he have to gain by fighting someone with 20 losses? He has nothing. Oh, but there's a flip side to that. What does the fighter with 20 losses have to gain? He has everything to gain. He gains everything. Also, Jay, wait, what does he have to lose?
Not a goddamn thing.
Right. So choosing your level of opposition is a fucking life hack. It's a life hack.
Mm.
Choosing the wrong op Let's go back to the youngsters. Choosing the wrong op can land you in fucking jail or worse. So to my young men out there, please choose your opposition wisely and also consider the level of opposition you choose. It could be, and not to be so dramatic, it could be a case between life and death. And there are cases, I don't want to name names, but in rap specifically, um, choose your ops wisely, young man.
Yeah, so in relation to that thing specifically, we could even tie this to the Terrence Crawford thing. So if you look at him fighting the dude with the 20 losses, right, he has nothing really to gain because even a victory in that is not a real victory. But if he loses, it's so much more of a loss for him because he wasn't supposed to. If he wins, it's like, duh, why'd you even take this fight? But if he loses, it's like, holy shit, you let him beat your ass? Maybe you're not as great as we thought. But for the dude who fights him, if he loses, he was supposed to. No one
Right.
cares.
Nothing to
But if
lose.
he wins, he has created a whole entire legacy. His whole entire life changes.
Change his life.
Everything changes for him.
Yes.
So he has all of the reason to go in there and go as hard as he possibly can because he wins in either direction. He either wins or it's a net neutral for him. So he has every reason to go in there and go as hard as he can. Whereas Terrence Crawford has the reason to be careful because he can't lose. And it's the same thing when you have taking it back to the rapper thing with the people still running around with their little street beefs. Like once you get to a certain level, you have much more to lose from participating in this. And you're beefing with people who have absolutely nothing to lose by losing to you and everything to gain by taking you out. And it's a dangerous and stupid position to put yourself into. Like you said, choosing your opposition is a life hack. If you're going to be fighting battles, you should be fighting battles that it makes sense and or benefits you to win, not
Right.
battles for the sake of battling. This is how people wind up fucked up. We take this to a purely rap thing, right? This is why, going back several years, the Drake and Pusha T thing, right? He should have never responded to Pusha T. Not
Correct.
because he's a better rapper, but because he's the bigger name. There was no victory in it for him. And
Nope.
he had so much to lose from going into that and participating in it. And he did not understand that. He did not calculate it properly. And that battle changed his whole entire image, the whole entire trajectory of his career. I'm not saying he wasn't popular after that. I'm not saying that he still didn't make good music after that, but who he came out of that as was a very, very different
Different
person than
version.
who he went into it as. He learned that lesson the hard way. That was something that he should have completely left alone because there was no victory in it for him. Because to most people, to the vast majority, like to Drake's audience, Pusha T is an unknown. Now we know who he is. People who really listen to music, people who know music know who he is. But outside of that circle, they don't. And that's just what it is. He's one of the bigger named underground people, basically. Like,
Yeah.
but he had no business partaking in it. He did not choose his opposition wisely, and it fucked him up irreparably. There's nothing that he could do to come back from that. Period. Same thing with the Kendrick thing. That changed him. Now he had more to take in that because he would have had a real gain from that victory.
Yeah.
So
More.
that's different. That is the opposite. That is the example of poorly choosing your op wisely.
Yeah. Yes. 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 You
Why
pretty.
he chose a opponent poorly.
Right.
So
Right. Right.
but yeah, as a whole, like what that's exactly what you're saying. Like as you're elevating in life, the things that you're fighting against should be elevating with you. Like when you're broke, then it makes sense to even take it away from people. When you're still fighting with the fact that you're not a morning person and you can't get out of bed. That's opposition right there, right? But when you're a broke person, that's something that you fight against. When you fight against the urge to not go to the gym, you fight against the urge to sleep in, to procrastinate and stuff like that. Like this is your opposition at a very low level is your base urges, right? And you're never going to get to your highest level, to your highest potential, to the most that you could accomplish if you're still fighting against these very base level urges, because they're going to prevent you from doing so. So once you overcome these things, you overcome your procrastination, you level up a bit. Now you take on new opponents, new things to fight off. And again, this is metaphorical as well. It doesn't have to be people, but you have new things that you are battling against, and that
Yeah.
should evolve as you do. But that's why you don't see, there's not billionaires who are still struggling to get up when their alarm goes off. They've long since conquered that battle. So as you grow, the things that you should fight grow. And also, building off of that, the things that you fight are ultimately what it is that makes you who it is that you are. Just like you said with Muhammad Ali, if you keep fighting the same low level dude over and over again, nobody cares. Like it'd be one thing for like Floyd Mayweather could go knock out a bunch of teenagers, and who cares? It doesn't mean anything. It's when you're knocking out real fighters that it matters. This is where you get your accolades. This is where you get your stats from, right? Like that's why you don't see Superman movie and him going and beating up bank robbers, because who cares? Obviously he could do that. You need to see him fight other godly people. Exactly what we said at the beginning, right? Gods amongst gods, not gods amongst mortals. If you want to be a god, you want to cement your status as that, you need to be fighting amongst other gods. As Sue Surf said, killers kill killers. You don't get stripes running around shooting up a bunch of fucking civilians. That's ridiculous. Again, this is metaphorical. Don't be out there killing any goddamn body. But the point is, you are nobody at the end of the day without opposition to fight against, without something to go against, without an enemy to overcome. And we were talking about this earlier, but like if you look at people, right? If you watch a TV show, you watch a movie, you play a video game, you read a book, every single story, all of it is predicated upon somebody encountering some degree of opposition and overcoming that, right? Even if it's something as simple as a game show or a cooking show. It might not seem directly like opposition, but you're judges. You're fighting against the judges. You have the people who want them to tell you that you're making the best fucking pate or strawberry souffle or whatever the fuck it is that they make on there. So you're fighting against them and the other people that you're cooking against. And the better that your cooking competition is, the better chef that you are by out cooking those people. It's very easy to be a 5-star, however many Michelin stars you could get chef, and outcook Jane from up the street. Who cares? But if you're a Michelin star chef, you need to be outdoing other Michelin star chefs in order for it to actually mean something. But back to the other thing. All of those things are predicated upon the defeating of opponents / opposition. But people want to look at their own life differently, right? They want to have zero struggles, zero things to fight against. They want everything easy. But if you were to take their very entertainment and put the life that they say that they want into the entertainment, they wouldn't even enjoy it anymore. What's the point of walking around a video game with all of your weapons and your superpowers with nobody to fight? Even going past that, what's the point of walking around a video game with all your superpowers and your weapons, easily killing everybody else? You want to actually have a fight. You want to actually have a battle. The rest of it's no fun. It might be interesting for a moment, but if there's no possibility that you're going to lose, there is absolutely no point in playing. I remember back in the day, PlayStation 2 is Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. They had a cheat code where you could throw it in and you could be invincible. Right?
Yeah.
You get the infinite ammo. I throw a little cheat code in, I get my invincibility, I get my infinite ammo. I'm running around shooting people up and everything, exploding cars. And after a while, I'm like, well, this is stupid. I don't care about this because it's not fun, because there's no possibility that I'm going to die. There's no possibility that I'm going to get arrested. There's no repercussions. So you need to have this something that you can lose to in order for your life to be worthwhile. You're not winning if you can't lose.
And that kind of goes back to our opening discussion when it comes to evolution.
Come
right?
on now.
I mean, bring it back. Let's bring it back.
Gunshots, battle rap noises.
Nah, for real, man. Like you can't evolve with simple opposition. It's surviving high level battles and challenges is how you grow and evolve, right? Surviving, conquering this opposition. That's how you evolve, right? And like me and Jay says, doesn't have to be a person, man. It's an idea. The idea of, like you said, getting up in the morning, going to the gym. That is something. That is a challenge. That's opposition. But if you overcome that opposition, who will you be on the other side of that storm? Like you said, running towards the storm, right? Coming out of the backside. Yes, no, we cooking right now. Coming out
killing
of the
it. Come on.
coming out of the back of that storm, which is the gym, what do you look like after that? Right? What do you look like after that? Right? After reading the fucking, you're not going to be the same person before reading 1,000 pages of any book. You're going to be different coming out of the other end of those 1,000 pages. You're going to be a different person, right? So you have to choose your battles, opposition, challenges wisely, right? Because at the end of the day, that's the person you're going to be. Well, that's the person I'm going to judge you on, how you chose your opposition. Like you can't, like you said, you can't be a fucking millionaire worrying about people quarreling over minute money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, how do you evolve as a billionaire worrying about what someone makes, and he doesn't even make a couple thousand a week, right? So it's no growth for that billionaire. He has to choose, and it's crazy. Will Smith, man, comes to mind. I heard him talking. Yeah, I heard him talking. He's always saying how he's reached a plateau of spending money, and this, he could buy anything, he could do anything, go anywhere. Where's his opposite? Like he's looking for opposition. What do I do? So when you run out of these, when you get to the mountaintops and you have no opposition, does your life even have purpose? I look at Will Smith and I see a man that has what most would say everything he wants, but he has nothing. He has no opposition. He has nothing to do. So now, why is Will Smith making an album? There's your opposition.
There you go. Something to overcome right there, because he got the little rap chip on his shoulder. And you know what? I don't know if you heard the album, but it's pretty good.
Like, yeah, I heard some a couple of tracks, and I'm like, okay, well, like I know why he's doing it. Yeah, I know why.
Exactly. But see, this is the thing, though, because he pushes himself. First and foremost, shout out to Will Smith. He's getting a lot of hate these days, and that's I'm not here for that. Will Smith was the man for way too long for people to just turn on him like that.
Talking that shit too.
Yeah,
he be talking exactly.
That shit. 1,000%. He be putting people on game for real. Like he sits there and he be dropping knowledge. He has been for forever, and people want to discredit it because they want to focus on the gossipy shit. But he had this thing that I was talking about. Now I got nothing to do with you. Now I got nothing to do with none of y'all. I don't care about his fucking relationships. Like, I hope it's going well for him. I don't give a fuck. Like, now I got nothing to do with me. I got nothing to do with y'all. And that's the problem. Because he had the little speech thing about the talent and skill separation. Like he's been putting people up on stuff for a minute. Like he's somebody who went through shit and really learned from it and really took the lessons away and then tries to give it back. And that's what you're supposed to do in life. But that's a great point. I think I saw bits of the clip that you're talking about where he's talking about you can buy whatever it is that he wants. He doesn't care about it anymore. Because at a certain point, like once you get to a certain point, nobody cares. It doesn't matter anymore. Like I could even go when I was trying to get in shape, when I first did, I was enamored by the fact that I looked a certain way. And after a certain point, I mean, I still like it, but after a certain point, I'm just like, okay, cool. I've done this. I've experienced this. I want more, you know? Right. So, and it's that level of pushing yourself and finding something to fight against. It's the only way that you're ever going to live a life of purpose or a life that's worthwhile or a life that you enjoy. And it's in the absence of those things, which is again, what everybody wants. People want to remove their problems. They want to remove the struggle. They want peace. They want tranquility. They want nothing to go against. This is when they come up with all of these other little tiny things that seem like problems only because they don't have real problems. Like when you're not fighting against something, the fact that you're sometimes sad seems like a real issue. Now it's like, oh, I'm depressed. You wouldn't be if you actually were doing something for real. Or people will sit there like, well, I'm still hung up on my childhood trauma. You wouldn't care what happened when you were 12 years old if you were doing something with your life currently. These are things that are your subconscious is filling in the absence excuse me, of you having any purpose or anything to truly overcome. Because naturally, People want something to fight against. Everybody does. Even if you look at cats and dogs, this is why they like the little toys that they do, and they fight the shit and they shake it, and
Right.
because they want something to go against, and this is their version. People want the same thing. So when you don't have struggle, you make up stupid shit, and then you sit there and like, oh, I'm sad. This is a problem, and I need to go therapy to solve my sadness. Go fucking do something. Oh, I have bad memories, and I need to get rid of my bad memory. This is only a problem because you're not doing something. Go actually work on bettering yourself. Solve your legitimate problems. Get rid of your vices. Get rid of your procrastination. Get rid of your stupid ass habits. Get rid of all of the negative dumb shit that you tell yourself, and build yourself up into the person who you wanted to be when you were a child, rather than settling for who you are and crying about your stupid little feelings all day. These are not a problem when you're doing real things. You know who's not sad, who's not worried about being depressed? Fighters. You think they're in the fucking ring? Fucking Conor McGregor is in there fighting against Khabib Nur, whatever his name is. No disrespect, it's just long as shit, and I don't know how to pronounce it. You think Conor McGregor was in there fighting him, getting punched in the face, worrying about when he was sleeping in his car in Ireland? No, because he was doing something in the moment. He had something actually going on. He was actually overcoming something instead of all of this other bullshit. So momentum will cure a lot of these things that people struggle with. When you wake up every single day with a purpose and something to work towards and something to fight and something to overcome, you don't deal with all of this dumb shit because you have actual problems that are popping up in real time, which, contrary to what people believe, is a good thing, because solving those problems is how it is that you grow, and that's how you evolve. That's how you become a better person, and that's how you become someone whose evolution is more than some fat fuck in a line for 40 minutes at an airport to eat some Domino's pizza while waiting to squeeze themselves into a little seat that they can barely fit in.
Yeah. You're bringing me back to the trauma, Jay. I thought we got away from it. You're bringing me back. You brought me back. They keep pulling me back in. You ever seen Godfather 3? They keep pulling me back in. That was my Pacino.
Can't get away from it.
That was my Pacino right there, ladies. And you know what? The crazy part is people and then again, this is why I used to value sports so much. To me, sports it's not the same. Uh,
Mm.
I don't know if it's the people who participate in the sports. I don't know what it is. Is it the people who own it, or I don't know? Something has changed. But I used to love the idea of sports, man. Michael Jordan fighting against the Pistons and overcoming the Pistons, and they knocking him on the ground. He's bloody and he's getting up, and Ali and Tyson and these heroic figures, and Darryl Strawberry and all my heroes. Um, yeah, they did it. They did it for money. They did it partly because of money, but to me that was a small part because they wasn't getting paid like that. That was a small part of it. Fighters don't get punched in the face. They of course they want the money, but it's something else, man. It's something else. Uh, Fighters, and like I said, could be metaphorical. Could be in a ring or outside of a ring or fighting life or whatever whatever opponent you choose, right? Um, fighting fighting makes you a better person. It
Mm-hmm.
makes it makes you a better person. And fighters just don't fight for money. Uh, like I said, getting punched in the face, like you said, Conor McGregor. He wasn't in the ring because he fucking depressed. He wasn't thinking about. Was he thinking about money? Getting punched in the face, getting fucking arm locked, and fucking his arm about to break. He's not thinking. All he's thinking about is how to survive, how to beat this opponent in front of him. And if he finds a way, what he ultimately can become, right? And that's what and that's what matters. That's
That's what
that's
it's about at the end of the
that's
day.
what it's about at the end of the day. So to wrap that up, just choose your opponents wisely, choose your opposition wisely, and that will ultimately help you evolve as a person.
And
Uh,
understand that you need opposition.
you have,
Opposition is a necessity.
yeah, no, like I said at the beginning, it's a life hack. It's a life hack. If you find the right person or idea to oppose you, uh,
Mm.
you come out the other end of that looking like a fucking $1,000,000,
And
depending on
truly dedicate yourself to it, truly dedicate yourself to that fight. Yeah,
yeah,
1000%. It's the this is the thing right here. There's people who go out into the world who legitimately want to end world hunger or some shit, right? And they don't have
yeah,
a job, they don't have anything, but they
yeah,
travel the
yeah,
globe
yeah,
actually helping people and live super rich fucking lives.
yeah,
And they have nice houses, they have all of this other shit, even though they have no real job because they're going out there truly dedicating themselves to combating something. And that leads them to all sorts of amazing places. Like when you, especially when you pick something to fight, and especially when you pick something to fight with pure intentions, because a
hmm
lot of people just want to do shit for the fucking sake of it. Like people just want to have, like there's some people who go online and just want to make people mad just to make people mad. But when you do the shit with pure intentions, then that shit will take you so fucking far. And again, it is a life hack. You sit there, you commit to that shit, it will take you farther than any other thing that you could think of because you are fighting against something that you truly believe you
yeah,
need to conquer and that you conquering will benefit the world as a whole.
yeah. Like I said, if you get into it for the wrong reasons, like money, I just said fighters don't really. Of course, they want to get paid and it's prize fighting, but at the end of the day, they want to accomplish great things. You don't get into something for money, man, and think that it's gonna work out like that, right? Like you said, pure intentions, pure heart, and at the you come out the other end of that storm looking golden, man. Uh, like the buffalo. Don't be the
Just
size.
like the Buffalo.
Don't be the size of a buffalo though. Don't be the size of a buffalo, especially
Mm-mm,
you 5'2",
mm-mm,
the
mm-mm.
size of a buffalo.
That's
Don't do that.
crazy. That's
Don't do
not
that.
acceptable.
That's not
It's
acceptable.
not acceptable. And
Yeah,
just a quick aside, it's not your thyroid. I'm sorry.
it's not.
It's
It's
not your
not.
thyroid. It's the
Just
drive through. The drive through did this to you.
hey man, look, I was at the gym today and just looking at people staring around the gym is different too. Just staring,
Mm.
observing. But man, you got older people in there with knee braces, with the Patrick Ewing knee braces on fucking. I'm like, man, look, look, they in there fighting, man. They in there fighting, man. Like it's no excuse. Like I'm like look at this old woman. I see this little old woman, and she in there fighting, man. She had the knee braces on, both of them, like the
Mm.
Olajuwon
Oh, she
joints.
wasn't playing.
Oh no, yeah, she in there squatting and shit, knees cracking. I can
Mm.
hear her knees cracking from across the room. I'm like, all
Shit
right.
echoing.
Just sound like a gunshot. There go your gunshot right there. Pow, pow, pow. You know, right over there. That woman, right over there. But Jay, I don't know why I just thought of this, right? Me and my wife was talking about this the other day. I don't know why it just came across my mind. Yeah, maybe it has something to do with evolution and growth and opponents. You've seen Boys in the Hood, right?
Yes, sir.
And there was a scene in Boys in the Hood that me and my wife was talking about the other day that I found to be extremely important and maybe an overlooked scene in cinema history, actually,
Mm.
especially our culture. Might be an overlooked scene, and you, of course, you know the scene. Many people know the scene. Um, I'll set up the scene, right? So, you know, Trey, or was it Morris Chestnut's character? He's been killed. Trey comes in the house acting like bluffing like he bluffing like he about to do something and shit. Yeah, and I'm not talking about the scene where he throwing punches and shit. I'm talking about the scene after Ricky Ricky gets hit and Trey comes in the house and his father's there like, yo, you ain't built like that, dog. Like, let me get the gun. Give me the goddamn gun, Trey. Give me the goddamn gun, Trey. So Trey, Trey all, Cuba Gooding, he's all fucking soft and shit, give him the gun. Goes in his room, hops out the window, right? He's is now transfers over to nighttime. He's in the low rider with Cube, and yeah, what a scene, right? Hold on, let me act this out. They're driving. Hey, Doe. Hey, Doe, let me out. Doughboy right there. He could have tried to convince him to stay in the car. He didn't. The people in the car, it was like two other people. They didn't say anything. They just let him out the car. And Trey hopped out the car, and he chose not to do what they were doing. That is choosing opposition, kind of. I didn't know where that was going, but I just brought it back. I just brought it there. I didn't even know where I was going with that. But I found
Come
it.
on, battle rap noises.
Nah, yeah, I found it interesting that, and we talked about this a couple of episodes, or maybe the last episode, about manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
Doughboy, he definitely could have convinced him to stay in the car. Like, yo, dog, they're like, yo, bro, I hit you. Like, you're not gonna stay in the car, dog. Like, what are you soft? Like, da 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 da. But he
Quit
did.
being a bitch, homie.
He could have definitely did that. Trey would have been like, all right, man, you right. Who knows, right? But I just found
Man.
that scene to be powerful, Jay. For so many reasons, man. For so many reasons. But one of the reasons is that Trey knew he wasn't built like that, and also knew that wasn't his level of opposition. That was Doughboy. That was those and whoever else was in the car. That was their level of opposition. And look, Trey goes on to college, right? He didn't choose that level of opposition. His level of opposition was something different, right? He went on to college and whatever, and Doe ended up being killed.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know where I was going, but it ended up right.
No. That's fire, and that's an amazing tie back. But see, here's the thing, though. Like, the amount of people, I know that there are so many people in real life who have been in a very similar situation to that and wanted to do nothing more than what fucking Trey did and get out the
Whoa,
car. But they
get me
knew.
out the car, man.
Man, but they like you especially when you on that type of shit, it seemed like a real good idea at the time. You hyped up, we about to go XYZ, and then you sit there, you get pulling up real close to where it is that you're supposed to go, and then you sit there, you got that feeling like,
I shouldn't
nah.
be here.
But then you like, damn, I don't want to do this. But then you know that if you say something, then Doughboy in real life will tell you
Real
not
life,
to be a bitch.
bitch.
Stop being a bitch, homie. And that's gonna and the way that people grow up is that's gonna kill you right there. It's like you do anything to avoid the stop being a bitch, because you want to be down, you want to be with it, you want all that, you want the stripes. And there's so many people in that situation, or that have been in a very similar situation to that, who wanted to do the exact same thing and absolutely should have done what it is that Trey did in that, because exactly like you said, he chose his level of opposition, and in that moment knew that's not for me. And this is a mild tie back too to what it was we were talking about the other episode about friends, because Doughboy was for real his homie, because he said, yeah, this is not for you, go walk your path, homie. If he was the stereotypical person that everyone else is around, he absolutely would have told you not to be a bitch, because he would have tried to put his level of opposition on you, because he don't give a fuck about you. He gives a fuck about him. And the people like that want to drag everyone into their bullshit with them so they can feel better about that bullshit. So if you're, I don't know how the fuck you'd be listening to this in that situation, but if you're listening to this in that situation, and find yourself in that fucking situation, get out the fucking car. And if the homie says something, if he tells you not to, that's not your fucking friend anyway. Fuck him. Such is life. You have to sit there and understand not only what is for you, but what it is that you want to be for you. Because all of the opposition that you pick in the moment has much different layers that come with it. It's not just that individual choice. It's that creates a little domino effect. You have every single thing after that. And in the Trey situation, it's not even specifically just him going to jail. It could be him getting killed. It could be him spending the remainder of his life watching out for them peoples to come and get him. It could be all kinds of things. There's so much that comes with that there. It's the PTSD that some people get, or that switch that you get flipped to your head where it's like, I did this, now I'm not going back. And then you go down on a much worse path. So you need to understand. I guess my overall point here is analyze the things that you do when you're picking your level of opposition, because it's more than just that one choice. There is so much that comes with all of these things that you do, and most people don't take the time to try and understand that because they're so caught up in the moment of not wanting to be a bitch. And this doesn't even specifically have to be in that situation. It's all kinds of other stuff. Maybe it's some girl who's inviting you over to her house. So you got a girl and you sitting there thinking about doing it, but you don't want to you don't want to say no to it in the moment, but you got to think about what it is that comes with that. Do you want everything that comes with that? Do you want everything that comes with you going and quitting your job because you're mad right now? Or are you not taking the risk and going out to do that other thing that you've always wanted to do, that the opportunity presented itself, but now that it's there, it seems like a big thing? Do you want what comes with not doing it? So these are all the things that you guys sit there and think about when you're doing or picking your opposition in these various ways. It's not just one choice.
No, it's not, man. Man, listen, we preaching right now. Right.
Facts. Battle rap noises.
Don DeMarco. I'll bring it back to now. I just can't get my mind out of the airport. I don't know. Y'all people y'all don't understand, man. How people basic level thinking, man. Like people don't even have basic level thinking. I say this. I'm not into stereotypes that much, but sometimes they're true. There's some facts to some stereotypes. But
Stereotypes are stereotypes for a reason sometimes.
sometimes, right? There definitely could be rooted in some truth, right? Kind of like a joke. A joke's always rooted in some type of truth. But I came across in the airport, me and my wife and my daughter came across my what they call a Karen.
Mm.
I experienced my first Karen, but from afar because someone like me is able to observe these things and navigate around Karens and all types of shit. So I could observe from afar. I seen her coming. Uh, she was directing. Let me give you a visual of her. A little short, minuscule, little ugly, trollish looking woman with baggy sweats on, blonde hair. But she was directing the group, which is gave me the first indication that she was a problem. Uh, okay, guys, everyone over there, everyone sit here, and the way they were looking at her, I was like, yeah, let me stay away from her. Let me stay away from
Good
this
call.
person. So we're online. I hate this part of getting on the flight. We're online, and they call up, they call up the first group. Mind you, no one ever follows directions, right? But especially not someone with the uh, intellectual capacity of a Karen, right? They never follow directions, right? Group A, Group B, Group C, Group whatever, right? Everyone just races up there and figures that whatever's on their ticket, they can convince like we've all been through it, right? Right. So this little trollish, ugly, despicable jackass of a woman, uh, her group is looking despicable. They're like, we are doing the wrong thing. But this is what you chose. You chose this little troll to be your leader, and this is what you get, right? This is what you fucking get. So she directs the group. We're gonna stand here because of we're gonna stand here because so we're in front. And mind you, she just goes in front of us. But we had first we're in Group A and whatever Mosaic, whatever that shit is. So we're first to board anyway. Um, I guess this woman didn't know it, but her large group of people, she directs them to stand in the front. We're going to stand in the front. Everyone, you, Karen, just no, you stand here. You, John, don't do that. You have to stand there. You have to stand there. Don't argue with me. That's where you have to stand. Okay. Here goes the lady. Okay, tickets. Everybody's boarding. We're boarding Mosaic. This woman looks at her ticket. Oh, mine doesn't say Mosaic, but she's holding up the line, right? And she's giving the ticket to the woman, and the woman says, "No, ma'am, you're in row fucking 30. You, you, what the fuck are you doing? You're in the back of the fucking plane. Like you're fucking normal. You're get in the fucking back of the fucking plane, the back of the line. Why are you here?" But she's arguing. What's going on? What is happening here? Lady, your ticket does not say Mosaic. Go to the fucking back of the line. That's what's so everybody's in the back. We're all like we're looking, and and this way I see another black dude. He's looking at me like he's like, oh shit, man. We can't really. He's like, man, look, lady, could you? I don't know. I don't even know where this story is going, but she made an excuse. That's what she does, right? Just to hold up the line. Well, if you would have been more clear, if they would have been more clear over the PA system, I would have known not to be holding up this line standing here. They should speak more clearly. And I'm just looking at her like, what a fucking jackass of a woman, right? So, long story short, we board the plane. Me and my wife and my daughter, we're kind of in the front, and we're looking for the troll. She doesn't. Of course, this is how we know she's in the fucking back. She has the board from the back. We land where we're landing. We're walking, and we're still looking for her. We're like, she's entertaining at this point. Where's Karen? Where is it? We see her again, and we spot her on the line in customs, and she's crying. She's, oh my god, oh my god, what's going on? As she crying, so she's crying. Oh my god, face red. And then, she's on FaceTime. She's like, oh my God, can't believe this. Oh Lord, oh Lord. She's talking to people on the line. Oh, do you know, yes, because I don't think he's going to make it. I don't think random people. I don't think, John, I don't think John's going to make it. So people are like looking at her like, yo, dog, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about your John, man. Don't involve me in your shit, lady. And so now, but me being observant and me and my wife being so observant, we're able to place ourselves 5 to 6 groups of people away from her. So we would now we get to watch the TV. We get to watch everything interacting. Then two seconds after that, oh my God, everybody, John's gonna make it. John's gonna make it. She's no tears and she's trying to skip the line and all this other shit. That is my airport story. That is I don't even know where I was going with that, but yeah, I hate people. I hate normal people. I hate you normal people. I hate the airport. I hate crowds. I hate groups of people. And this is why I don't like to be around people. Uh, they think normal. They act normal. Matter of fact, Jay, that's not normal.
I agree. It's common, but it's not
common.
Normal.
It's common. All right, let's put it there. Let's leave it there. That is not normal behavior. Standing in the line at Wendy's or Domino's at the airport, if that makes it any worse, but it does to me.
It does.
It does, right? I mean,
it does.
Right. All right. So standing
it's an airport, man. You pay fucking $8 for this burger. Like, what are you talking about? What are you doing?
Like, what's the quality? hold on. What's the quality of ingredients you're getting at the airport, right? So that's just one. I'm just like, you might get a burger, but did that come from a cow, dog? Like, where does that come from? What quality of cow can you get? And they slinging this shit at the airport. Like, come on, dog. Like, be for real. The cheese on the pizza, the breading, everything is bullshit. Got to be the worst uh, ingredients ever at the airport. But I don't want to. I hate to categorize it as normal, Jay. But that's what I'm glad you said that. It's common, but it's not normal. I'm glad you put it in the context for me. But it's frustrating. It's frustrating.
So I know you didn't know where it is that you were going with this. But
I don't
we're gonna
know.
make this into a lesson here. Now we're gonna make this to a lesson.
I just needed to tell that tale. I needed to get it off my chest. Jay. I needed to get it like I needed to get it off.
I have a lesson to extract from
Of
this.
course you do. That's why you're fucking yelling.
And this is the thing. When you go out into the public places and you see people operate, right? Like you said, this lady came to a thing, she made an excuse. It wasn't her fault that she was standing there like a dickhead. But when you go out into these normal places and you watch just everyday people operate, be it a grocery store or the airport or the gas station or even just driving up the street. If you ever go to a crowded mall and you see the way that people struggle to try and figure out the direction in which to
Yeah,
walk,
yeah, yeah,
how it is that they should purchase the clothing items that they
yeah.
look at and stuff like that, right?
Idiots.
When you go, people have, so I'll put a pin in that right there. People have this narrative that most people are struggling because of something that society is doing to them or something along those lines. That despite people trying their best, they're unable to get ahead because they're being held down by the powers that be and the government and white supremacy and the patriarchy and whoever this individual group of people's chosen villain is, right? But
Mhm.
when you go out into these regular places and you look at these regular people who are struggling to do the most basic of things, like line up appropriately for your spot when you're in the plane, like not take 6 carry-on bags onto a plane, because why do you need that much shit to travel? Like, people do not have the ability to put their foot from the brake pedal to the gas pedal when the light changes colors. What makes you think that they should be doing better in life? When you can't walk through the store and figure out why things cost what they cost when they have price tags on it, and you grab 3 things for $9.99 and you get up to the register and you're upset when your total's $29.97, and that's confusing to you. What makes you think that this person should be doing better in life? Like, I understand that it's comforting to blame all of these external factors and stuff, but if you take a look at people, you will see this is absolutely false. People fail because all they know is failure, because that's all they fucking condition themselves to do. They do it every single day. They do it when boarding a plane. They do it when ordering food. They do it when driving their car. They do it when pushing a shopping cart. They do it when getting out of bed in the morning. All day, every day, they condition themselves for failure. And then they fail. Duh.
Fucking idiots, man. I'm glad. Yo, that's why I needed to talk to you, Jay. I needed to get it off my get it
Gotta
off.
break these things down.
Yeah, man. But like I said, man, get it off my chest. And if you think about it, that's not my level of opposition. So
See, there you go. And that's the thing. That's a great there too, because people sit there running around screaming at the people in traffic or getting mad at the people in the grocery stores or any of those things along those lines, sitting there getting worked up about a whole bunch of nothing. That's what they choose as their level of opposition. News stories and people who can't drive their car. And that's why they struggle in life to get ahead.
what a way to button that up. What a way to button that up, man. We did
How we
good
rock
out
it.
there.
See, we sitting here flowing. We don't, like I said at the beginning, we don't need the backgrounds.
We don't
We
need the
make the
background.
background.
I'm still in the matrix, Jay. Fuck it. I'm still here.
All day.
I'm
I'm
still
still in my little
Morpheus.
fucking black wall thing. I don't know what we call it, but this is what we do. This is why we roll it.
No. Fucking cave somewhere in the fucking Indonesia. Fucking cave
Top of the
floating.
motherfucking hills,
Yeah,
sitting above
yeah,
the
yeah,
cloud.
yeah, yeah. Blue pill or red pill, man. Morpheus, Yoda.
Motherfucking both.
Yeah, both. Let me get both them motherfuckers, man.
We combine that shit. We got a purple pill. Fuck is you talking about?
Ooh.
Yeah, we gonna make this a thing. We gonna come up with some merch. Purple pill. That's how we roll in here.
Oh, yeah, but we had to cut that out. We don't need y'all to fight. We don't need y'all to fight. That's fire.
Come on now.
That's fire, Jay. You on the lookout for these shirts, man, for this merch, man. Purple pill, man.
Game within the game, official merch coming soon. We've just now decided this.
Just now, right in front of y'all, right in front of your eyes, man.
Come
And
on.
watch. If we
Come
say
on.
it, if we say it, it's gonna happen.
Facts is how we rocking.
Yes,
Period.
sir. But always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to speak to my guy, man. I find it hard to 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 speak to anyone else after talking to you, man. I'm just keeping it a buck, man.
Nah, most people, it's a fucking torture talking to the vast majority of people. Like it is
Yeah, man.
insanity.
Yeah, I might have to detox from talking to fucking Yoda. But I'm telling you, man, it just makes everybody just seems so fucking idiotic. But
Most people are very vapious.
yes, see, look, beautiful words and shit, fucking illustrious words like that, vapious.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's crazy because I don't get to use words like that uh, in my regular day life. Well, I talk to my wife mostly, and I get to practice words and shit like that because she knows words also. But with other people, it's just it's wasted, right? That's why I love
Man,
that's why I love rapping, man, because I get to kind of play with words and shit like that. Everyday people they can't say certain things.
it is so fucking exhausting when people, what does that mean? What
Yeah,
does that mean? That's not a word. Yes, it is. You're just stupid. Like,
right? You're what you trying to sound smart? Like, yeah,
Javi, like this is what,
yeah,
yeah, people, that's the craziest thing in the world. Are you trying to sound smart? Yes.
yeah,
What's
yeah.
the alternative?
Trying to
You
sound
trying to sound like a dumbass? Like,
yeah.
what are you talking about?
You read
Absolute insanity.
you reading the book.
Why are
You
you trying
think
to sound so smart for? Like, think about what you're asking.
yeah,
Like, think about what it is that you're asking me. Why you want to
yes,
sound so intelligent?
yes, motherfucker, yes. I want to be yes. The fuck. But
You should be too,
you should be too, man. You should be too.
but
Game
you can't be clearly.
clearly because you're not on
Just for a fucking vernacular.
you're not the fucking
Jesus
on
Christ.
vernacular. That's great. Illustrious verbiage, man. You gotta love
Yes,
it.
and how we rocking. But here's the thing: words are powerful, right? And most people know like 12 of them. You wonder why you're all weak and can't do shit.
Yeah, yeah. You have to
Or speak it into existence and can't form full sentences.
no,
What are you gonna do?
you definitely have to broaden your vernacular if you want to be your greatest version of yourself, man. You definitely have to broaden your verbiage and how
Part
you
of that is speaking well. Elevate your eloquence. Like, come on, man.
yeah, be poignant. Be poignant. Right? We're gonna
And
end
don't
it.
listen, people. I know people love to sit there. You say some words and you talking white all of a sudden or something like that, or you
I,
sound like a nerd because you know some.
I,
Like, come on.
I hate shit like that. I said that was a bar on the Davies with the album with me and Davies, the final call. I said that.
Yup.
Yeah, something like that. I forget all my bars. So I said something to the point to that fact of sounding intelligent to be sounding white or something.
Yeah, something about when you talk proper, they say you talk white.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody even knows the bars, man. I can't.
Come on, man.
I can't with this guy, man. Yeah, I can't with this guy. But
But
game within the game.
that shit is insane.
Yeah, game within the
And
game.
this would be a topic we could unpack another time, but there are a certain group of people who try to make blackness synonymous with ignorance.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Where Yeah, I was about to let's not go there. Not write
Coming
that
next
down.
time.
Yeah, yeah, write that because I was about to go. Let's not do it. You got places to go, people to see. But game within the game. Always a pleasure talking to my brother Jay. Like I
Yes,
said,
sir.
Yoda is hard to speak to anyone else after speaking with someone as eloquent and poignant and brilliant as the great Yoda, man. Um, dueling with you. You are definitely top level opposition.
Hey, this how I see us back to the beginning. Choose your level of opposition. This it also counts again too, conversationally, unpacking ideas here. Like we can't have a solid conversation if one of us is dumb as shit. Like we've just been going back and forth this whole time. You said the thing, unlock things in my brain. I say the things, unlock things in your brain. This is how we roll in here because you got to associate with people on your level. Period.
Yeah, that was what a way to button it up, man. Great convo. Game within the game. We will see you next week.